Most people who eat one meal a day think they're starving their body. They are wrong. What is actually happening inside you hour by hour is one of the most coordinated and intelligent sequences in all of human biology. Your stomach, your liver, your fat cells, and even your brain are running a program most doctors never explain and most patients never ask about. Most people have no idea, and yet it runs every single day. Here is what your organs are actually doing on one meal a day from the moment you swallow that first bite all the way through the 20+ hours that follow. Hour 1. You just finished your meal. Your stomach is doing something extraordinary right now. It is churning, squeezing, and contracting, mixing everything you ate with a bath of hydrochloric acid so strong it could dissolve metal, while its muscular walls generate enough pressure to break solid food into particles small enough to pass into the small intestine. This process is called mechanical digestion. The stomach is built for exactly this job, with walls thick enough to take that punishment every single day without dissolving themselves. Over the next 1 to 2 hours, your pancreas releases a flood of insulin into your bloodstream. This is the hormone that unlocks your cells, letting glucose pour in from all that food, and your blood sugar climbs as your cells pull energy in fast. The work happening right now involves almost every organ above your waist. Your small intestine, all 20 feet of it, is running at full capacity during this window. Tiny finger-like projections called villi line its walls, pulling vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and fatty acids directly into your blood, while specialized transport proteins carry specific nutrients across the intestinal lining and into circulation. 20 feet of active absorption. That blood flows straight to your liver, which immediately begins sorting what to store, what to send out, and what to break down further. At hour 3, solid food, especially protein and fat, is still processing inside your stomach. Research published by the National Institutes of Health shows that gastric emptying of a full mixed meal takes between 4 and 6 hours on average. A rice-based meal in one study took nearly 6 hours to fully clear the stomach. Your stomach is not rushing. It is doing this right. Your liver is not idle during this window either. It is pulling glucose out of the bloodstream, converting the excess into glycogen, and packaging fats into lipoproteins for distribution to the rest of the body. It is the most metabolically active organ you have, and right now it is running at full speed. By hour 4, the active digestion phase winds down. Insulin starts to fall. The flood of glucose from your meal has been absorbed and stored, and your body is shifting into a very different mode. The second phase begins now. Most people never think about what happens after the fullness fades. Your liver has been quietly storing excess glucose as glycogen, a stacked chain of sugar molecules packed into the liver and muscles for later use. It is your body's short-term fuel tank, holding roughly 400 to 500 calories worth of stored glucose at full capacity. As hours 4 through 8 pass and no new food arrives, insulin keeps falling. The body starts a process called glycogenolysis, where the liver breaks those chains apart and releases glucose back into your blood to keep your brain and organs running. Your brain never notices the gap. Your liver is quietly feeding it from reserves built during the meal, and the whole process happens without you feeling a thing. Something else happens during this window that most people never think about. A migrating motor complex activates inside your gut, called the migrating motor complex, and it sweeps through your small intestine in rhythmic pulses, pushing undigested debris forward, clearing the intestinal walls, and maintaining the conditions your gut needs to absorb nutrients properly. This wave only runs when you are not eating. Every time you snack, it resets back to zero. On one meal a day, it gets uninterrupted hours to finish the job completely. By hour 8, insulin is low, the liver is actively releasing stored glucose, and your digestive system has entered a quiet maintenance state. This is where things get interesting. By around hour 10 to 12, liver glycogen stores are running low, and the hormonal balance in your blood tips in a direction it hasn't tipped since the last time you went this long without eating. The signal goes out. Your body has made a decision. It is going to start burning fat. Your fat cells receive a hormonal signal to begin releasing triglycerides. Those triglycerides break apart into fatty acids and glycerol, and the fatty acids travel through the bloodstream to the liver, the muscles, and the heart, where they are burned as fuel. Meanwhile, glucagon, the hormone that works opposite to insulin, is rising and telling the liver to keep making glucose from non-sugar sources, a process called gluconeogenesis. Your body is manufacturing its own fuel from internal stores, which is a level of metabolic efficiency most people never reach because they eat again before this process ever starts. By hour 12, blood insulin is at its lowest point of the entire day. Research shows this is when cells become most sensitive to insulin, meaning when you finally eat your next meal, your body will handle it faster and more precisely than at almost any other time. Fat burning is now your primary fuel source. It has been building quietly while you were going about your day. Nobody talks about what happens after hour 14. This is the part that matters most. Your body is running on fat, but something else is switching on, something that took a scientist named Yoshinori Ohsumi a Nobel Prize in 2016 to fully explain to the world. It is called autophagy. Autophagy means self-eating in Greek, and that name is accurate. Your cells are consuming their own damaged components, including misfolded proteins, worn-out cellular structures, and debris that has been accumulating for years, then recycling that material into fresh cellular building blocks. Think of it as a deep maintenance cycle that can only run when the body is not busy processing food. The liver, which faces enormous metabolic demands every day, processing toxins, regulating blood sugar, and managing fat metabolism, is one of the first organs to show autophagy activation during extended fasting. Your brain cells do it too. So do the cells lining your gut. Research published in the journal Cell found that fasting reduces the release of pro-inflammatory immune cells called monocytes. The inflammation sitting quietly behind joint pain, fatigue, stiffness, and dozens of chronic conditions is being dialed back during those fasting hours. This is not a minor effect. Chronic low-grade inflammation is connected to nearly every major disease that affects people over 60, and fasting is one of the few interventions shown to reduce it measurably. Human growth hormone also rises significantly during this window, with some studies measuring levels at 300 to 500% above baseline during extended fasting periods. Growth hormone tells your body to protect protein and burn fat instead. Your muscle mass is being actively defended even while you have not eaten in 16 or more hours. By hour 18 to 20, your body has shifted to running largely on ketones, molecules the liver produces from fatty acids. Ketones cross the blood-brain barrier easily, and many people report sharper thinking and steadier energy during this window. Not fog, not irritability, clarity. In the final hours before your next meal, something subtle is happening in your gut. Your intestinal lining cells have had time to repair. The cells that line your gut wall do their best repair work during rest, not during active digestion. The migrating motor complex has completed multiple cleaning cycles over the past 20-plus hours. Research suggests that extended fasting shifts the composition of gut bacteria towards strains associated with better metabolic health, which matters because those bacteria influence everything from your immune response to how you absorb nutrients from your next meal. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, has been rising, so your stomach is signaling that it is ready. Your digestive enzymes, stomach acid, and bile release are all primed to process a large meal, meaning your body will extract more nutrition from this one meal than it would from a digestive system that never gets a full rest. Your body spent 20-plus hours preparing for this exact moment. It is ready. There's a reason many people on one meal a day say food tastes more satisfying when they eat it. Your digestive system is not sluggish or distracted. It is prepared. Now, before the next part, if you want to understand what happens when you push the fast even further, we made a video specifically about what your body does at the exact moment you hit hour 18 and autophagy starts in full force. The link is right there on screen. Watch that next, because what happens to your cells at that precise moment will completely change how you think about skipping breakfast. Here's what science has confirmed, and where it gets careful. A study published in Frontiers in Physiology found that eating one meal a day produced more than double the fat mass loss compared to eating 3 meals with the same total calories. The timing of food, not just the amount, changes how your body stores or burns it. But there is a risk worth knowing about. A 2024 preliminary study presented at an American Heart Association conference found that very short eating windows, similar to OMAD, were associated with higher cardiovascular risk in certain populations. Blood pressure can rise in some individuals on this pattern. LDL cholesterol can increase modestly. These are not reasons to panic, but they are reasons to get your numbers checked regularly. If you're already managing blood pressure or blood sugar, one meal a day is not something to start without talking to your doctor first. Here's what most people miss. Your body is not suffering when you eat one meal a day. Every hour of that fasting window, your organs are running a precise and coordinated program, moving through digestion, storage, fat burning, cellular repair, and reset. It's not starvation, it's a system doing exactly what it evolved to do when food is not constantly arriving. But that system only works well if the one meal you eat is genuinely nourishing, with enough protein, enough healthy fat, and enough micronutrients to fuel everything your cells are about to do over the next 23 hours. A single meal of processed food, refined carbohydrates, and low-quality fat does not give your organs what they need to run those repair processes. What you eat in that window is everything. The fasting earns the biology, but only a good meal collects it. The question is not whether one meal a day is extreme. The question is whether your one meal is good enough to be worth it. We just covered what happens with one meal a day, but your gut is a separate story, and what you put in that one meal either repairs your gut lining or slowly damages it over time. Watch this next, how to naturally clean and repair your gut. It is the next video on your screen, and what you learn in the first 2 minutes will change what goes on your plate tonight.